Up and at 'em, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning on Wake Up Worcester. Later on in this half hour, we're going to hustle over to Percy's. He's got some great things to tell us about. Alan Levine from Percy's will be telling us about some ways in which we can save not only energy, but some money as well. We're a month away, exactly a month away from the election for mayor of the city of Worcester and city council at large and the district councilors. And here to talk to us about the mayoral campaign and how it's going is one of the candidates for mayor, Kate Toomey. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning, Hank. How are you?
Good, thank you. Hey, okay, everybody is saying that the campaign is kind of quiet. I guess that's because that's to us on the outside. There doesn't seem to be a burning issue. You guys aren't slinging mud at each other. What's going on behind the scenes, though? What's going on as you're knocking on doors?
Oh, well, Hank, I am knocking on doors, and we're doing phone calling and lots of things like that. And I think what I hear from people is there's a great deal of concern about jobs. They're afraid. There's a fear out there. There's a great deal of concern about taxes and about what's going to be happening to their child's school and what's going to be happening to their services. And, you know, it's really a very difficult time, I think, for everybody. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, it is. Now, I mean, when you're knocking on those doors and you're talking to people, I mean, is there anyone, you talk about jobs, is that what most people want to talk about? Is there anything else that they're really kind of honing in on? Because you put out last week, you came out with kind of your top 5 list,
right,
if you will.
Right.
Did you get that from kind of going door to door and talking to people? How did you come up with your top 5?
No, I did. I mean, I culled a lot of things from different places and just past conversations, recent conversations, concerns that I've had and I've seen, and pulled them together. And they're pretty basic. I mean, they're nothing earth-shattering. You know, Jordan said that I stole his 5, but, you know.
Well, the only thing that would mean is that the 5 haven't changed in 20 years.
That's right.
They were still the same 5. Do you think that's true? Do you think that the concerns now are the same as when Jordan or when Ray or Tim were all mayor?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I think these are bread and butter issues. You know, these are the things that affect people in their own home and in their pocket and their own lifestyle and sense of wellness in their home. So I think they are, yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, I didn't rank them in any major order. It's just, you know, fiscal responsibility is really the first
fiscal
one.
Fiscal responsibility, which would make sense. That's what everybody's
you know,
talking about. We just don't have any money.
We don't, and it's a bigger problem than people could even imagine. And you sit there and say, for the sake of talking $26 million deficit for the school budget, what are we going to do? Well, there's no magic wand, no, you know, fairy's going to come down and give us some money, and we don't have a printing press done in City Hall, although,
so is it just cuts? I mean, is it just teachers losing job and administrators
we're going to have to be very
jobs
creative. We can't, you know, the other thing other candidates are saying, well, you know, we're going to work with the state and the federal government, and we're going to ask them to help money in private businesses. Well, they don't have any either, you know, so we are going to have to ask for a change in restructuring the Chapter 70 reform. That's really what we have to do is Chapter 70 reform. It's the funding vehicle for public education in Massachusetts. And it's almost 2 decades old. You know, and that's really critical because I was talking about that when I was on the school committee.
Yeah, and is that something that can be done in 2011? Just so that people realize, for anybody who doesn't, the mayor of the city of Worcester is also the chairperson of the school committee, and that is where we're with this $26 million that you're just talking about for this deficit. A lot of this is going to center on what the schools are going to do. I mean, my goodness, if we have to close schools and lay off
I don't know how we're going to close schools because there really isn't any room. We've actually increased our school population this year, so you know, there's no extra room.
All right, so back to Chapter 70 for a moment. So if that wouldn't be ready for 2011, that fiscal year budget, what happens in 2011?
Well, I think from what I'm hearing, there is some stimulus money still left. Now, whether or not they're going to allow cities and towns in Massachusetts and other states to use that to offset the education funding, I don't know. But, you know, certainly we do have to advocate, but it can't be the only thing. We're going to have to take a really good look at the unfunded mandates that are there in the school system, and both federal and state, and have a good talk with both.
Can Worcester fight back against those?
I think we're going to have to, because what we'll do is
give us the money for those.
It won't be just Worcester. When I was on the school committee, I helped to create a statewide organization, a coalition. I brought people together around a common cause. Even though we had some small towns and some large cities, we all had a similar concern, and it was the formula for the charter schools. And people thought we were crazy, and you're not going to be able to change that. And everything. It ended up that after 2 years, through dogged determination, that we were able to make some change. We didn't get everything we wanted, but we made enough change that it saved, here in Worcester, 55 teachers' jobs. And now, 5 years later, that's $16 million.
Wow. Kate, have you had a chance to talk to the school superintendent yet? I mean, have you talked about some of these issues with her?
Yeah.
It seems to me that the new mayor is going to have to get along well with the school superintendent.
Yeah, and I'm I believe that she is a very intelligent and articulate woman who has a great deal of desire to make the public education work in our city and for our children. And I think I found her to be very enthusiastic and articulate in stating her goals. And I think that that's really what the mayor, who's the chair of the school committee, should do, is work with the superintendent with her goals to help, and their colleagues on the school committee, to help get those come to fruition.
Kate, what's number 2 on your list as we're kind of hitting the top 5 list?
Yeah, well, the top 5, economic development. And I think really this is the engine that drives everything else. Everyone's talking about our taxes and, the tax rate and all of that. And really the answer to all of this, and it's not going to come in 1 year, it's economic development. And it's the only way that we can broaden our tax base. That's what will help mitigate the incredible disparity that's been created over the past 25 years in the tax rate between business and homeowner. And that's, now we've got this acrimony there, and it shouldn't be there. What we need to do is we need to be extremely creative. We need to educate ourselves first about how wonderful a place we are. We're one of the top 10 best places to live in the country. One of the most I think we're the number 4 most affordable place. No, the most affordable place to live in the country. Just recently,
really?
Yeah,
in Worcester,
for cities our size.
Huh.
Yep. And so we have some great things here.
I didn't even know.
Well, you learn something
new
every day.
That's right. That's right. So, in order, so kind of that there's a cheerleading aspect clearly. Then you feel to
cheerleading
and
education and marketing, and I think very strongly. Look, Kevin White, when he was in Boston, Boston at that time in the 80s, nobody wanted to even go there, and he really made it work. He sold it. He said that they had the intellectual capital and they had the infrastructure, and gee, so do we. We are central to everything, and we have 30,000 college students, here ready. As they're graduating, not all 30,000, but we do have, thousands of young, energetic, brilliant minds ready to graduate and look for a job. And what better place to live and work than here in Worcester? That's right.
Much more with Kate Toomey coming up straight ahead here on Wake Up Worcester. We're kind of running down this top